So Instagram just performed what they're calling a bot purge, where basically they got rid of almost every fake account on their platform, and they took it very seriously. So fake accounts, deactivated accounts that have been up for years but have had zero activity, they all got erased. The result in this was millions of accounts drastically losing their followers, including celebrities. So I have a list here posted by somebody. Instagram's own account lost 690 million followers. Ronaldo lost 666 million followers. Messi lost 507 million. Selena Gomez lost 408 million. Dwayne Johnson losing 385 million. Kylie Jenner lost 385 million as well. Ariana Grande lost 365 million. Kim Kardashian lost 347 million. Beyonce lost 302 million. And Khloe Kardashian lost 294 million. And this is just the smallest fraction of people that were impacted by this. Google's own account used to have 15K followers, and now they're at an average of 400. And there's a lot of people that are upset about this because they're saying, well, that's not fair. I used to have all these followers. I used to have, 900, and now I'm at 300, and now everyone is upset. Personally, I am very glad that Instagram did this. I think this is something that needed to be done for quite a while, because one of my biggest issues with social media is that a lot of people make fake accounts, and there's a lot of bot accounts, fake accounts, and therefore people have an unrealistic following list. And I've spoken about this before, but I'd like to use this as an example because what just happened now is exactly why I don't take people seriously on social media. A lot of people have this ideology where, they won't take your account seriously unless you have a certain amount of followers. Matter of fact, as someone who used to work in the nightclub industry, I do have experience with people who literally would not hire you unless you had a certain amount of followers, which I thought was bullshit. A lot of these accounts are fake. A lot of times you can buy followers, which, by the way, is against Instagram's platform rules, yet so many people do it and get away with it. It's probably one of the rules that's almost never enforced. You can even buy an account that already has a set amount of followers and then do whatever the fuck you want to do with that account. People will make a dozen fake accounts and then follow their main account to boost their following. Your following account really doesn't fucking matter. And the reason why it doesn't matter is because it's fake. It's all fucking fake. So whenever I see people who just do dumb shit for views, I just think, you're an idiot. You think your following account makes you relevant to society, when in reality, all you're doing is making yourself a detriment to society. And that number doesn't matter because that number is fake. And even if that number was real, let's just pretend that number was real. Bro, these are strangers, bro. These are strangers behind a keyboard. They have no impact on your life. You're probably never going to meet them. The best they'll do is get the word out about you or your brand or whatever you're doing, and maybe that can make you a bit of money. But that's not the case in most situations. In most situations, most of those people are going to be trolls. They're going to be bots. They're going to be fake accounts. They're going to be haters. There is genuinely no benefit into getting into social media just for the sake of getting followers. And people, you'll pay attention and notice There's a difference between authentic creators and creators who are just in it for the game, for the following game. It's kind of like a business. The guy who starts a business because he genuinely believes in his mission will always have a much higher success than the guy who got into business just because he's greedy for money. Same thing with the influencer business or social media business, podcasting business. People who get in it simply because they want a following, they always fail in the long run, versus the people who do it because they genuinely have a heart in the game and they believe in their vision and they're authentic. They always outlast the fake performers. The other thing that I want to cover on here, everyone is upset because on May 8th, supposedly, Instagram ended end-to-end encryption on your direct messages. And I say supposedly because I haven't heard Instagram officially make that statement themselves, but also, my app is fully updated and I haven't been notified of anything of the such. So for all I know, this whole end-to-end encryption shit could be completely bullshit. But for the sake of this episode, let's just pretend that it's real. Personally, to me, it doesn't fucking matter. Because I already operate on social media with the sense that there's somebody watching, because there is. WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat. There's no such thing as privacy. The people who run the app can see all your shit. Matter of fact, since you want to talk about end-to-end encryption, so allegedly the story is Instagram is ending end-to-end encryption for some unknown reason, and they're telling us to move to WhatsApp that has end-to-end encryption. Yet WhatsApp is the number one app that is known for leaking private messages with end-to-end encryption. My point is there's no such thing as end-to-end encryption. It is completely and utterly fake. There's no such thing. There's no such fucking thing. So I don't need to worry about it because, number one, I'm not doing anything on here that I shouldn't be, that I need to worry about somebody, reading my messages and me going to jail or facing some sort of consequences. Number two, I'm already well aware that Instagram is looking at my shit. And number three, end-to-end encryption never really existed. It's all a scam. It's all a scam. It's all fake. The only exception of privacy that you get is that other ordinary people can't see your shit. So, I can't look at your Instagram account and look at your private messages. And that hasn't changed. You can't look at my account and look at my private messages. But Instagram has always had access to your messages. They just never told you. Why do you think when you report somebody who sends you a DM, whether it's for threatening or harassment or whatever the case is, Instagram literally tells you that they're going to review the messages and then they'll update you on whether or not it violates their community guidelines. That right there alone is proof that this end-to-end encryption shit is bullshit and that it never existed. The difference is, before they pretended that it was a thing, now they're just straight up telling you, oh yeah, we see your messages. Only the stupid people are buying this shit. Smart people like myself, we knew all along that they were reading our shit. So the end-to-end encryption shit changes nothing. The whole bot thing changes everything. The bot thing I'm very, very happy for. And I'm also proud to say that I haven't lost a single follower due to this bot purge. So I guess that speaks highly on my end, that my account doesn't attract fake bots and things of the sort. That being said, a lot of these influencers are exposing themselves because they're all going on Twitter and they're complaining, Instagram, what the hell, I just lost 300 followers, what's going on? Okay, well, you know why you lost those followers and you're still upset. You want to know why these people are upset? They're upset because the higher their following account is, they believe the higher their status is, the higher their relevance is. A lot of these people have spent hundreds of fucking dollars on fake accounts, on buying their own accounts that came with the following. So think about it this way: if you just bought a fake account yesterday, or if you just bought followers yesterday for however money, because I've researched this, a lot of these people actually spend hundreds of dollars to get fake accounts to follow them. So let's say you just created a new account and you want to get popular really fast. And instead of doing the hard work and getting into the competitive space, you decide to buy 100 followers for $100 on some illegal app. You get 100 followers, Instagram does this bot purge, and those 100 followers get wiped off the platform. Now you're back at 0. And you're irrelevant. Now no one knows about you. That's why these people are upset. Literally, the only people that are getting upset about the bot purge are people who are fake, people who are guilty of buying fake followers, people who are guilty of creating fake content, people who believe their only relevance to society is in their following counts, and now they're upset because now they realize that they have no fucking relevance. But the thing is, they never did have relevance. It's now just more obvious. And yeah, these people who are so-called relevant online, bro, I see these people online who act that they're all that just because they have a following count. Bro, if you saw these people on the side of the street standing in line, you would have no fucking clue who the fuck they are. These people have no relevance to society. They have no impact on society. They're not doing anything beneficial with their lives. If TikTok went out of business, as it almost did before Trump got elected, if they lost their internet connection, if these platforms went out of business, or if they got banned from these platforms, they would quite literally be out of a job. And it would be very hard for them to actually find a credible job, because companies look at your social media, they look at your name, they're going to look up your name. Imagine if Jack Doherty got banned off of TikTok and he tried to get a job, they would look up his name and they would see all the stupid shit he does, and they would say, yeah, no, we're not hiring you. Because your account might get banned, but your digital footprint never gets erased. And I would like to conclude this episode with something that Robert Downey Jr. said recently. He said that these influencers, I don't know what his words were exactly, but basically that this wave of influencers being the next wave of famous people is horseshit. And he's absolutely right. And I've spoken about this before. There used to be a time where people got famous for their talent, for their skill, for their hard work and effort. Robert Downey Jr., for example, he got famous because of his acting skills. He did a phenomenal job on Iron Man, one of the best acting careers I've ever seen in my lifetime. I just saw a movie based on one of my favorite music artists, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, y'all can't comprehend how talented this man was. This was before the internet. This was before you could get famous with just a click of a button or buying followers or people could look you up. This guy still is the most famous man in the world. Because he had talent, because he had discipline and motivation and dedication and hard work. Now people get famous. The fucking Hug to a Girl, Sylvie Rain, Clavicular, fucking Neon, Jack Doherty, Fred Blaine. These are stupid motherfuckers with a bunch of money and no IQ whatsoever. No IQ, not a single ounce of talent in their DNA. And yet some of them are more famous than Jennifer Lopez. Why is this? Because of the internet. Because of this fake world that we now live in. Matter of fact, Kim Kardashian was the very start of this. Which, by the way, she just quit being a lawyer because she failed the bar exam. Thank fucking God, because that is the last person that you want representing you in a courtroom. That woman, all her brain cells went to her fucking butt. But that's the end of my episode for today. This is a short one. I am going live again in a few minutes to talk about my employment at Whataburger and why you should not fucking work there. So come back.